Okay, testing 1, 2. Okay, it's recording. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is unapologetically Marina K. And
And this is apologetically, what am I doing here?
this is unapologetically Sarah. And so let's tell them how we met.
We met at a shindig. It was not actually a shindig.
It was a shindig.
It was a
pretty
gathering.
cool. It was a really cool gathering, and so we became friends.
And then we didn't see each other for a few weeks, which was kind of frustrating because there were some car issues that had to be sorted out. And now here we are today at beautiful scenic Green Lake, Seattle.
Oh my gosh, you guys! When we're
You're
done
missing
talking,
out.
you really are missing out. It's so great. So, Sarah was just asking me a question about utopia, or what was the question?
What I was asking, okay, so you were talking about how you've been up and down the Mexican coast.
Yeah,
And before that, you were talking about having gone to some hot springs in Arizona that were like Eden,
Eden.
right? Like
Yeah,
Eden.
yeah.
And just before that, I had been saying that, for all of Seattle's problems, it really is kind of a utopia, or at least as close to a utopia as you're going to get, because no place is truly utopia. And that's when you got into I went to these amazing hot springs. I went up and down the Mexican coast. And then what I asked, like the question that I asked was, is it really utopia? Is it really Eden if you can't live there? Because you gave an example of a place in Mexico that you really loved, and you were there for a month, and then boy, that heat just got to you, so you left again. And so this idea of how do we define what a utopia is? Is it a utopia if you can't live there for more than a month?
Well, two kind of parts to that. Because I was already traveling, I wanted to see a lot more. So I stayed at each place about a month, and I wanted to just keep going. My destination was actually to get through all of the beach towns and arrive in Fiji within Answer.
Okay.
But so I had just planned on just chilling at a bunch of utopias. I wasn't really planning on staying. But I wonder about that. If we really can call something, yeah, Eden can be a place you don't want to live. But it is an incredible utopia. It is, it's a place that you love. But it's possible that you cannot want to live there, because like when we think about taking the blue pill or the red pill, right?
Lord.
When we oh, she
You
done
went
got
there.
into it. Yes, when you understand that everything has a problem. Every aspect of life will have problems. Life is not without any. You realize that wherever you want to create a home, it can either be an Eden, your Eden, or B, it can be a place that you know that every place is Eden that you visit, but you can't live there because maybe you choose not to have a home, or you continue to go back to your Eden and just travel to every other Eden that there is.
Possibly that.
What do you think?
I mean, yes, and I would say that what it makes me think about as I'm listening to you talk is how I did this 4 states in 3 years thing.
Oh yeah, tell
Not
me.
intentionally, it just worked out that way. The year 2001, June 2001, I left Minnesota and I moved to San Diego and was there for a year and a half. December 2002, I moved from San Diego to Chicago. And then June 2004, I moved from Chicago to Seattle, and I've been here ever since, right? So 2001 through 2004, Minnesota, San Diego, Chicago, Seattle. And what I discovered, I'm thinking back specifically to when I was living in San Diego, and oh my God, it was perfect. It was magical. Something about the atmosphere and the people and the places and the things that I was up to at that point in my life, it felt realer than real. It felt more perfect than perfect. I thought, oh my God, I could just live in this for the rest of my life and be so happy. And then things changed, and I had to move away because reasons. And when I left Chicago, then a year and a half after that, I had actually thought about moving back to San Diego. I thought, oh, I gotta go recapture that Eden. And I went back there, and it wasn't the same.
What changed?
Okay, I have this allergy thing with my eyes, so I'm gonna be really rude for a second. Sorry, audience.
Nobody's worried about that.
Oh, God.
You're allowed to.
I'm allowed to have
Are you all
allergies.
right?
Yes, it'll go. It just takes a moment.
All right.
So let's see. The social scene that I had been a part of, like people had drifted out, people had drifted in. It wasn't the same people. It wasn't the same scenarios. Some of the places I'd gone weren't there anymore. New places had come in. I had a different lifestyle at that point. Like the stuff that I'd been up to right when I left, I didn't want to go back to.
Like what?
The rave scene, primarily.
What's up, St. Louis? I know all about that.
What's
rave
up, San
scene.
Diego and Los Angeles? And every 2 weeks, driving from San Diego to
Oh
Los
my
Angeles
God.
to party, and then driving back down at 4 in the morning and going to work. I had so much energy. And coming back a year and a half later, after some pretty heavy family stuff in Chicago, I didn't have that energy anymore. And instead of the air feeling magical, it just felt warm. And I'm not saying that it wasn't an Eden when it wasn't Eden, because it was perfect for me at that point in my life. Where I'm going with all of this is that maybe Eden is a temporal thing as much as a location thing. Like when you were here for a month in this Mexican beach town, and you were there for a month in that Mexican beach town, it was the Eden at that point in your life in that place. And maybe if you went back there this summer, you wouldn't have the same experience. It wouldn't feel like Eden.
I've gotten that question before. That what if you go back and it's not the same?
Because it won't be.
Right. However, I know that it won't be the same because a large majority of our experiences are they're based around people, not so much isolation. And the connection that you have with each person is going to be very different. Just like the energy of each location differs, the energy of each person is going to differ too. So I can definitely see how like things would be very different. And that's when people ask me, just traveling around the world my entire life, which place was your favorite? And I have to
It's a
turn to
terrible
them and
question.
say, just like the energy of each person differs, the energy of like a place is going to differ. And then you also have to take into consideration what you were doing in your life. Were you grieving something, or were you celebrating something? Was it cold when you were doing that? What types do you even like cold? There's a lot of things to take into consideration.
I hate
right?
asking what was your favorite blank. What I love to ask is what stands out. What was memorable?
Yeah.
Because it's such a more open question. It lets you answer whatever way is meaningful to you. And I was going somewhere with that, and I don't know where now.
We were talking about how each it differs. Yeah. I think
We are enjoying this beautiful summer
It's
day.
so
We are
great,
thinking
dude.
about so many little different trains of things, all
I know.
related to travel and Eden and places and moments.
Oh my goodness.
I
yeah.
think about how I've been to most of the U.S. I was telling you that I've been to most of the U.S. minus Alaska and the South. I've been to 8 countries, and I don't have a favorite country. I have memories that stand out. I have places and times that were just kind of magic. Like I was in Australia for 2 weeks in Brisbane, and I was there to go to a linguistics conference with a college classmate. And we were staying at a hostel, and so every morning we get up, we walk a couple blocks, we stop in at this little sandwich shop, we order sandwiches, and we take them to the University of Queensland campus for this conference. And midday we eat the sandwiches, and we we toss a frisbee back and forth. And the Australians were just in awe because to them, frisbee is like hopscotch. To us, it's a kid's game. So you imagine you're like at some like important academic conference, and there's these otherwise sane and sensible grown-ups playing hopscotch on their lunch break. That's what it was for us playing frisbee. And the ladies at the sandwich shop, they got to know us a little bit. They loved us. They were so sad to see us go. And if I went back to Brisbane today, I wouldn't have that experience.
So yeah, it
At
sounds
all.
like the people then.
The
shape-
people.
Yeah,
The people.
and
And that's where we were going with this, was getting onto the idea of people making a place as much as the place makes the place. I've been to Burning Man twice. And the second time was this past summer. And I went around asking people, because I wanted to hear the answer from as many people as possible. What brings you back to Burning Man? Not why do you go? Like, why did you go the first time? Why do you come this year? But like, you went the first time, and it was ludicrous and terrible and challenging and wonderful. And you went back to this crazy place that's trying to kill you. What brings you back? And I swear to God, every single person said community. It is the community that brings me back. And that really, that hit me in that place where it hits you. This is what it is to be a human. We are social animals.
Yeah.
And we can live in all kinds of crazy places if we've got the right community to support us and nourish us, that we can support and nourish right back.
Yeah.
There's people living in the hottest parts of Arizona. There's people living in the Arctic Circle. And we all make it work one way or another if we've got the right people.
Yeah.
You know, and like the story I just told about Australia, it wasn't about the city of Brisbane. It was about the women at the sound shop. It was about the other people at the conference, right?
Yeah.
You're Mexican, like the Mexican places you've been to and the other places you've been to, the people as much as anything would inform the stories that you told, I have no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. And I felt a different sense of community in Guatemala than I did in Mexico. In Mexico, you just come in and it's like community. I was like welcomed with. That's why I went there first. I ran to the loving arms of Mexico, and there was no real community in Guatemala. In Flores, I was a part of one, and I liked that it was like a very small community. And I got to really infiltrate myself and indoctrinate myself into the culture.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved the most about being able to travel into different towns. So no, the experiences aren't going to be the same, but yes, undoubtedly it is absolutely the people that help shape a large majority of our experience. I love that you said that. That's great.
And so, right, you know, like I don't want to ask you, oh, how was it? What's your favorite place?
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. You know, that you're gearing up for this book and you're so nervous that people are going to be asking you I'm not going to say stupid questions, the brainless questions.
Oh, I like that.
The questions that don't take a lot of thought to come up with and take no thought to answer.
Yeah. Boring
Questions.
Ask me some good ones.
Right, you want the juicy stuff. You want the questions to make you think about your own experience.
Absolutely. In a
And
different
process
light.
Process it in a
Absolutely.
different light and more deeply in order to answer, so that you do more growth through the dialogue you get into with people. That is the best possible outcome.
Look at you. Okay, by the way, Sarah's a mental health practitioner, so if anybody needs...
No,
I'm joking. This is friendship time. She's got plenty of clients.
So no, actually, I have a great caseload. I work at an assisted living facility, so I am the mental health therapist just for my residents of my assisted living facility. I do not do private practice. I am so sorry. Get your mental health needs covered somewhere else. I am fully in support of good mental health and quality of life for every single person, regardless of diagnosis. You can live the best life that you can live with proper therapy, with medication. End of pitch.
And happy Pride with all of that, because I know a lot of people are going through some things right now.
Everyone of every type of sexuality, everyone of every style of gender, this is your time to be proud of who you are, to be proud of your community. Like we were saying, communities matter. That's the essence of Pride, is finding and celebrating and supporting your own community. So rock it out.
Okay. Well, comment. Let me know a few things, guys. Have you been to a utopia before? What would you call an Eden? And would you want to live there? And what are some questions that you wish other people would ask you so you would be able to learn things about yourself, or wish that they could ask you so you could tell them about yourself? All right, thumbs up if you like this video, and I've got some awesome stuff coming, guys. I really do want to update you. Sorry I was on the edge of the camera. It was like the way we were sitting, we were like facing each other.
I finally looked at the camera and realized that there's sun glaring at the side of my face, so I'm pretty much like a bright face.
And I was on the other side like this, like,
awesome. Best video ever.
But listen to the content. It's about the content, y'all, and not so much. Okay? I love you. I love you. I'll let you, girl.